Okay, then actually we want to learn or we decided to learn data science. I think this course will be take I think I guess 4 months or 5 months if we take three classes, 2 or 3 classes in a week. I will not take the whole day classes in a class in a week 5 or 7 class. I don't like that because I will give you time. I will just take in Sunday, Saturday, and Sunday. Or any if possible, if time permit, then I will uh, take any class from the uh, working day. Before that, we will run data science and we are desired to run data science. Before that, I will make you clear that what is data industry. Because if the data industry, there is a field, there is a job role is data scientist. Let me clear that what is data industry. When you will go to LinkedIn or Naukri or anything anywhere, you will see the job role as big data engineer or something as data scientist or something as data analyst or something as business analyst. You can see that in the when you go to the LinkedIn or Naukri and anywhere you want to search a job. That before that I make you clear that what is data and what is the data industry. Actually, I guess the you can see my screen as well. Actually, data industry we can divide it into three part. First one is nothing but big data. Let me time in the next 1 year you will very clear all about this thing. And second thing is data scientist, data science. And third one is the data analyst. Okay. The first thing in the big data, actually, when we go to the big data field, then there is a position called senior engineer or junior engineer or architect engineer or consultant and lead engineer, something like that. In every scenario, in every case, something position like junior big data engineer or the data science like a junior data scientist or senior data scientist, something like that. After the in the big data engineer, actually, you can ask me that how the uh, job role is going to happen and how the job role is fixed and what is the responsibility and what is the role you are going to do. Okay, I will make you clear in the next 30 minutes. You will understand all the things. Actually, the junior engineer or senior engineer or the lead engineer, it all going on during your experience or as per your experience. If you are I guess less than 2 year of experience, you will be called as junior big data engineer or junior data scientist. After that, when your experience is going on, then your job role and the designation of the job is going to increase, and you can after 10 years of experience you can reach in the destination as manager or consultant, something like that. Let me clear one more thing, something thing that in the someone is suppose you are working as a developing side like web developer. You are a web developer in the 5 year, you are a 5 year you are working as a web developer, and now you are want to switch to data science. Then you are counted as a fresher. Is that true or not? I will tell you that it is a myth, and if you are switching your job, if you have some experience in the before, that may be a testing field, that may be any developing field, and any other field, then you are not going to prefer it. You are not going to tell as you are a fresher, because what matters is domain knowledge. What I will tell you what is domain knowledge. Before that, all the things you are going to learn, either that may be the big data engineer or data science or data analyst, all things are like the technology knowledge, and all the things are technical knowledge. And what matters is that domain knowledge. What is domain knowledge? Domain knowledge, that may be a supply chain, that may be a fintech, that may be a healthcare domain or something like that. If you are going to we can express our experience as a domain knowledge, but in the technical field, no one is fresher, no one is uh, like new. If in the company, in the industry, what is happening like that, that means they are tell you that they want a person who can deliver all the things, like they want a person if you can deliver her work and sorry his work, and if you understand the problem statement, if you understand the business need and everything, if you understand, and after that if you can deliver that thing to the company, then you are all to go. If you cannot do that, then you are in trouble, I guess. But there may be a question. There may be a question. You can think that in the field of data science, or in the field of big data or data analyst, you cannot deliver a full project, because in the full project, to develop a project, to develop some sort of project, the cloud infrastructure is required, ops is required, UI UX is required, web development is required, and all the things are required to deliver a full project. Before that you can think, then all the things are required, then am I able to run all the things? That's not accurate, possible. One man can run all the stuff. But you can, if you run data science, you can do your job as a data scientist. You can understand the problem which is belongs to the data science background or data analyst background, and you can sort that problem as well. Okay, let me clear the data industry. The data industry is basically in the big data engineer and data science and the data analyst. Okay, in the big data engineer, if you want to be a big data engineer, actually, where we see like data science, we are going to run as a data scientist, or we are going to run as data science. But I will make me clear that what is big data, and what is data analyst job role as well. In the big data position, I may tell you that you may know the Hadoop. There is a technology you need to know, just know the name. I'm telling you that you should know that in big data what is going to happen, what is happening, and all are interconnecting. I will tell you, give me 10 more minutes, I will tell you why. And you may know the Hadoop, you may know the Hive. These all are the technology. You may know the Impala, you may know the OB, and all the things you are know to become a big data engineer. And to become a data scientist, actually, make me clear one more thing. What is the work of the big data engineer? The big data engineer, the work of the big data engineer is to develop a complete pipeline. That means pipeline means to extract some data. The pipelines means the ETL kind of thing. ETL means extract, transform and load. Extract, transform and load means some your data may, it's not, when we are going to deliver your fast project, you may see that we will taking the data from the our computer, and that was in the CSV file or the Excel file. But in the company, that is nothing going to happen. There is no data is presented in your computer, in your Excel file, or in your CSV file. But what you have to do, then the big data engineer work is to extract the data from that. Data may be present in the that may be present in any database, that may be SQL database, that may be new SQL database, that present may be in MongoDB, that present may be in Azure, that present may be in Cassandra, or some sort of database that may present all the data. And after the extraction of the data, they can transfer the data. That means as per the requirement of the data scientist person, they can transfer and load the data to the data scientist. That means after they load, after they transfer the data scientist can perform some sort of operation, that may be in machine learning model building, or something of model building that they can perform. Then what is the work of the big data engineer actually is to do a complete pipeline. That means the pipeline which is in the complete pipeline, they can extract the data from the database. The data, all the data we are going to work, that may be present in any sort of database, and we can derive the data from any paired source and something like that. The big data engineer, what they do is actually they extract the data and they give to the data scientist team to do some sort of experience or experiment. After that, in the data science field, where we are going to learn the data science, in the data science field, what are the required stuff is, I think I can tell you. The first thing is statistics, second thing is machine learning, third thing is deep learning, fourth thing is NLP, fifth thing is reinforcement learning. I will tell you everything. In this course, what we will learn as statistics first, machine learning all, and the deep learning basic, and the NLP basic. And the RL is very top one, you know. you will know the after session when we will run all the things statistics, machine learning, deep learning, and NLP. And what is the work of the data science actually? I can tell you one more thing is in the statistics we will run something like measure of central tendency or the hypothesis test and all the things. In the machine learning we will run like supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, semi-supervised machine learning. I will clear all the things in next class. Okay, to be a data science, these things are required, and statistics, machine learning, deep learning, NLP, reinforcement learning, these are the required. Then what is the data analyst role? Actually, the what is data analyst actually is something. To be a data analyst, you may need some dashboarding site like Tableau or Power BI, or you may know SQL, you may know Excel. These these things are required to be a data analyst. Till then, who have any doubt, you can ask me, and we'll connect after that. Whoever any doubt. If not, tell me. We can continue.
Hi, can you please explain again what is the main role of big data?
Actually,
In
okay, sure. Actually, the job role of the work with from the big data engineer actually is that they will create a complete pipeline. That pipelines means your data may be present when you are actually when you are going to deliver your first project. We will do in the first project. We extract the data from our computer. That means there is a source like Kaggle or something in the internet. The data source is present. That means in the Excel file or in the CSV file, 1000 or 5000 data is present. We just download that CSV file to our computer, to our system. After that, we perform some kind of operation on that file. But in a real scenario in the industry, that the data is not present on your system. That is not available, freely available in the website or any in the Kaggle. What they do actually, the data which we are going to work, that may be present in SQL database, that may be present in new SQL database, that may be present in Azure, that may be present in Cassandra. All of the databases that may be present in I guess in MongoDB. Then what they do actually is they extract that data and they transform that data and give it to the data science role or data scientist person to do some kind of extraction. That means you are not supposed to extract the data from the database, but big data engineer are they extract the data, but that data is, I think, in the millions of rows are present. The big data engineer, they extract the data and transfer the data and give it to the data scientist person who is going to do some sort of operation. Am I clear? Am I clear?
yes, right.
Okay. All right. Then in the data science, you can see these things are required, and in the data analyst in Tableau, Power BI, SQL, and Excel is required. Then you may think that in this thing, in the machine learning, deep learning, then what is AI then? Then what is AI? Okay. What is AI? Actually, AI is nothing but just a word, just a bunch word. Actually, you may hear about Sophia. Don't know, you may hear about
Yes.
Sophia. The first Sophia, I may say, I may see you, Sophia. You may see the Sophia. That he is the first robot. I guess he got the citizenship of UAE. He had some sort of feelings, he had some sort of emotion. And what is AI? Is actually AI is the some sort of fully giving the, that means without human intervention, they can the complete set of pipeline or complete set of work is going to be set as AI. Nothing is AI. It's Sophia. It's the robot. He got the citizenship of UAE, and he has she has some kind of emotion and some kind of feelings as well, all the things. Actually AI is nothing. AI is the full the all the combination, all the pipelines is called as AI. Not only you can know the machine learning, you can know the deep learning. I will tell you that one person will come and tell me I know the statistics, I know the machine learning, I know the deep learning. It is not going to work, because in this time everyone is know about statistics and machine learning. Some sort of algorithm is known, and everything is going to know. Just give me a second. Okay. But nowadays the expectation is very simple. The company wants that person who can do that their work. Either he know all the things, or they don't like, and they need to be done their work. In the I will tell you that what is AI then. AI is nothing. Is AI just the complete pipelines. You cannot say that I know the machine learning. Machine learning is the part of AI. You are like that. You are every day you are using some sort of AI application. Like you are all aware about that the Tesla, the self-driving car. That is called the AI. That means all the things you can do that. The called it the application of the AI, which you are used to use in the daily basis. Like when you are going to in the Amazon, you can buy a product, and after going to the next page, it will show some recommendation. That means if you are going to buy a mobile phone, that they may show you can buy a cover Azure. You can buy cover glass Azure. So that the recommendation system which is going to work as a machine learning or deep learning model. We can build that in this project, and some sort of we can say in Prime Video or in Netflix, in YouTube also, in Facebook also. It is also providing a that means something the recommendation system. You can see that if I am searching now the interior design or the cooking, something like that, I am searching in the phone. After 10 minutes, if when you are using your Facebook, when you are using your YouTube, you may see the all the ad is coming from that category, the interior design or in the cooking. You can see that in all the things is the application of AI. And before that, I will not teaching Azure today. I will just clear all your doubt. After that, we may clear may do one to one doubt clear class, and I will answer all of your question. You may listen also in the Ola over type of case. That is also an application of AI. That means that all the things Ola over, that all things is that means they create a model, and that model is going to predict your fare. In the first case, you may seen that in 2 years ago, I guess, when one can is going to book a order or book a ride, then after the ride, Ola is going to show your price. If I come to Bhubaneswar to some sort of like Cuttack, then after going or after riding, and Ola is going to show your price, that this is your price. But now what is happening? Before going that, it is predicting your price, and this will be your price if you go to Bhubaneswar to Kotak. Then that all the things is happening in Ola over cash, and I may guess the self-driving car or in Sophia type of case. All the application of the AI, that means the complete pipelines. That means there is no only machine learning is required, only deep learning is required. All the things machine learning as deep learning as statistics as web development, all the things are required as SQL, all the things are required, and AI is not a tech, it is actually a domain. That means in which domain we are going to work, that is AI is going to work. That means AI is going to work in fintech domain or in education domain or something like that. You can hear about chatbot. Chatbot means when we are going to call any service center, there is a chatbot who is going to tell you. He just initially help you that may I help you or not. If you can got your answer from that chatbot, then you may need to connect any anyone. After that you can see one more thing that in Gmail, when you are going to using Gmail, if you uh, writing something that is going to autofill, or you are going to write something, then you may suggest more next word Azure. That is nothing but the application of the NLP Azure. We'll see all the things, and after that we will know all the things. And after that I can give you one more example. In insert, there is a app called insert, which is summarize all your data. And that means if you want to read some news from any data, for any news, it will summarize into 50 or 60 words. That is all the things is application of AI. And today or tomorrow onwards, so next class onwards, so we will learn first statistics and machine learning, deep learning, in these things which I written in the data science field. And before that, one more thing, in the after the statistics we will learn the Python programming as well. One more thing I will tell you that in data science field, Python is required, but some portion is very much important, and usually it is going to use in next future days. I will tell you one example, that if you run, suppose you are run mathematics to do mathematics. If you are doing mathematics in something like you are doing integration, you are doing derivation or something like that. Suppose you are doing an integration or derivative, okay. Then you have to know all the chain rule, all the formula, all the things in mathematics. If I can tell you that you will support to do a physics problem, then what you will do? Then you will just know some sort of chain rule, or some sort of one or two formula, that plus minus and all the things, you can solve a physics problem. In similarly, Python is very vast and uh, very lengthy. And if you are know the Python for the data science, it is I can say you that some sort of Python is required. I may tell you that some library which is especially for data science, that may be NumPy, that may be Pandas, that may be some visualization library like Matplotlib, C1, or something like that. We will show, I will show you, and we will learn all together. And after that I will make you. So one more thing is that in I guess it is the complete roadmap which I can show you. I can zoom it. Let me. Okay, it is actually it is for junior data science, it is the your complete roadmap. You can see now, it is visible to you.
Yes, where it is visible.
Yes,
Okay.
right.
Okay, no issue. Actually, in junior data scientist, you can see in experience 0 to 2 years. First, what is you have to know to become a data scientist. First, basically, it is the obvious thing. Either you are using Linux, either you are using Windows. You have to know some sort of your system, what is system is going to work. And I am here written is Linux, but due to the complexity of the space and this sites, I would just say, return the childreness. But if you are using your Windows system, that is completely fine. That means you have to know how to run a system. After that, programming is required, and some sort of data structure is required. That means I may say you that if you are going to apply a job in MNC or in service based company, they will not ask you in data structure. But if you are going to apply for a big company or a product based company or some startup in product based company, they may ask you in the data structure. But they have 5 or 6 round of interview. In that interview, one interview may be in data structure. That data structure, I can tell you, you have not to know all the very advanced concept. You just need to know just linked list, graph, tree, and some sort of basic. And after that, I may suggest you to language written here. Don't go for R, because R has some limitation. Go with Python, and Python is open library, and many library you can use that. After that, you can use SQL scripting, but SQL is actually needed, because in some sort of time you have to extract all the files, and that time SQL queries or SQL command is going to work. I may suggest you. I will tell you one playlist that may, I think, 4 or 5 hours that may you may know the SQLs or the SQL guidelines as well. After that, object orientation programming OPS is required, and libraries like as I told you, NumPy and Pandas is required. After that, database fundamental that may be MySQL. I may tell you that the MySQL, the database is required. One I may suggest you should use MySQL. MySQL or one more thing is MongoDB. Is just basic you have to know. After that, mathematics is required, linear algebra is required, statistics is required, inferential statistics is required, probability is required, and single and multivariate calculus is required. I will teach you all the things. Actually, in some sort of algorithm, only probability is required. In some sort of algorithm, only statistics is required. In some sort of algorithm, like linear regression, linear algebra is required, and something like that. I'll tell you in the further process. In data analysis, you can see in some kind of EDA is required, in data wrangling is required, feature engineering is required. I will tell you what all this jargon is. EDA means exploratory data analysis. That means if you have received 1,000 data, and I just give you a small example. I will tell you a data that you may tell me that. Let me clear this one that I will ask you. Data analysis is required. After that, web scraping and machine learning. I will share this image as well. Machine learning is supervised, unsupervised, performance metrics, and all the things we are going to run in going forward class. After that, machine learning technical tool is required. Start reading research paper. You can read the research paper as well. If you want to move to deep learning, you can know libraries like Keras, PyTorch, TensorFlow, and some sort of algorithm and machine learning ops. And this is also actually a complete pipeline for a or a complete roadmap for a data scientist or data analyst. I may share you one more thing I am just, telling you. Actually, what is EDA and data analyst? One more thing I can written here. EDA is required. What is EDA? EDA is actually exploratory data analysis. Okay. I may give you one more example. It will be more clear, I think. So if I tell you, uh, uh, there is a scenario that a person height is mentioned and person weight is mentioned, and you have to predict that he is obese or not obese. Obese or not obese. Obese means he is healthy or not. Obese means healthy or fat or not obese. That means if I tell you that I will tell you first some data. That means people height is something like 5 foot 5 inch, and his weight is something like 60 kg. It's not obese. And after that I will tell you one person is 5 foot 6 inch, and his weight is 65 kg, and he is obese, I guess. After that I will tell you it's 5 foot 8 inch, and his weight is 70 kg. I may tell you he is obese. After that one more person is 5 foot 4 inch, his weight is 48 kg. He is not obese. And I may tell you one more cases. If a person is 5 foot 9 inch and he is 90 kg, that means he may obese. I may tell you that this may the data. After that, I may ask you if a person is 6 foot 1 inch and he is something like 85 kg. What you tell me? Is that obese or not obese? How you can know? It is that in this case, when you have to predict something, you have to do something. In that case, machine learning come into the picture. That means machine is run by your data, which data is given to you. The machine will run by itself. After that, he can predict that if that person is obese or not obese. How he is predicting, how all the things is going on, and all the algorithm, how the algorithm is working. I will tell you in briefly when I will teach you the machine learning. I, in this case, what is EDA come into the picture? Is that something I may tell you that is obese. Okay, then EDA is actually in the data set, if you ever got the data sets from maybe in Kaggle or maybe in some sort of I guess in internet. After that, there may be a data. It's something like he's 6 foot, and the weight is not missing. Actually, sorry, weight is missing. He's obese. Okay, if the weight is missing, sorry, if the weight is missing, then what in that case what we have to do? If the weight is missing, how can deal with that data? We cannot predict if the weight is missing or some another data we may the height is missing and she is like 90 kg and he is obese. In that case, how we can handle the data? If we can receive a 1000 data, in that case maybe 50 or 60 cases that may be some sort of missing value is there, or some sort of like if I tell you one person which is in that file there is maybe written as 180 kg. Is that practically possible? There may be an outlier in that data set. How we are going to handle? In that case, EDH come into the picture, and I will tell you how we can handle that. We can handle that with the mean median mode, and we can expect the we can remove the outlier, and we will all the things we will discuss in the going forward class. And in this case, uh, for today class, I will tell you this thing, and I will share you the pipelines. You can go through that, and we will learn all the things. And you can ask me what is your doubt till yet.